thrive 成功する、繁栄する The small business thrived after it started selling products online. Children thrive in a loving and supportive environment. Grind コーヒー豆などをひく、コツコツ働く She likes to grind fresh coffee beans every morning. He has to grind every day to pay the bills.
Derive に由来するを受け継ぐ。She derives great satisfaction from helping others. The word biology is derived from Greek. Detest をひどく嫌う。I absolutely detest lying. She detests being the center of attention. Mock を真似るをからかう。The other kids mocked him for his accent. She mocked the way he walked, trying to make everyone laugh. Feign のふりをする。He feigned illness to avoid going to work. She feigned surprise, though she already knew the news. Elicit を引き出す。The teacher's question elicited a thoughtful response from the student. His speech elicited applause from the audience. Apprehend を逮捕するを理解する。The police apprehended the suspect at the airport. It took her a moment to apprehend the seriousness of the situation. Commiserate を憐れむ。I went over to commiserate with my friend after he lost his job. She commiserated with the team after their tough loss. Condone を許す。The school does not condone cheating under any circumstances. By staying silent, he seems to condone their behavior. Epitomize の典型である。She epitomizes elegance and grace. The company's success epitomizes the power of innovation. Fluctuate 変動する、上下する。The stock prices fluctuated wildly during the economic crisis. Her mood fluctuates depending on the weather. Forgo をなしで済ませるを慎む。She decided to forego dessert to stick to her diet. We had to forego our vacation due to financial difficulties. Frisk ボディチェックするを跳ね回る。The officer frisked the suspect for weapons. The lambs frisked in the spring sunshine.
Insulate を隔離する、遮断する。We insulated the walls to keep the house warm in winter. She tried to insulate her children from the harsh realities of the world. Liquidate を清算する、を解散する。The company was forced to liquidate its assets to pay off its debts. He liquidated all his outstanding debts before moving abroad. Meander を曲がりくねる、取り留めなく続く。The river meanders through the valley. We spent the afternoon meandering through the old streets of the town. Meddle 干渉する。Don't meddle in other people's affairs. He was accused of meddling with the evidence. Pamper を甘やかす、贅沢に扱う。She pampered herself with the relaxing spa day. They pamper their dog with treats and toys. Peruse を熟読する、注意深く読む。She spent the afternoon perusing the documents. He perused the menu before placing his order.
peak を立腹させるを刺激する関心をそそる The advertisement piqued my curiosity. She stormed out in a fit of pique. Plagiarize を盗用する Students are warned not to plagiarize any part of their essays. He was accused of plagiarizing the lyrics from another artist. Plummet 落ちる急落する Stock prices plummeted after the announcement. The climber plummeted to the ground after losing his grip. Rehash を作り変える焼き直す The movie just rehashes the same old superhero plot. Let's not rehash last week's argument again. Implant を埋め込む植え付ける The surgeon implanted a pacemaker in the patient's chest. Her words implanted a sense of doubt in my mind. Indoctrinate を教え込む洗脳する The regime indoctrinated children with its propaganda from an early age. New recruits were indoctrinated with the company's values and goals. Inculcate を教え込む Parents should inculcate good manners in their children. The coach inculcated a strong work ethic in the team. Enlighten を教えるを啓発する The professor enlightened us on the origins of the universe. Traveling to different countries can enlighten you about other cultures. Implement を実行する The company implemented a new training program for employees. The government will implement new safety regulations next year. Undergo を受けるを経験する She had to undergo surgery after the accident. The company is undergoing major restructuring. Manipulate を巧みに操る誘導する改ざんする He skillfully manipulated the controls of the machine. She tried to manipulate him into doing what she wanted. The results were manipulated to support the desired outcome. Address を取り上げるに対処するに話しかける We need to address the issue of climate change immediately. He addressed the audience with confidence. Please address the letter to the HR department. Fabricate を組み立てるをでっち上げる The company fabricates metal parts for aircraft engines. He fabricated the story to avoid punishment. Administer を運営するを施行する She administers the daily operations of the clinic. The government is responsible for administering justice. Enact を制定する演じる The government enacted a new law to protect consumer rights. The students enacted a scene from Shakespeare's play. Duplicate を複製する Please duplicate this file and save a copy in another folder. I kept a duplicate of the receipt just in case. Orchestrate を画策する、編曲する。She orchestrated the entire marketing campaign. The composer orchestrated the piano piece for a full symphony.
inaugurate を開始する、就任する。The president was inaugurated in a formal ceremony. The treaty inaugurated a new era of peace. Persist やり抜く、持続する、固執する。She persisted in pursuing her goals despite many setbacks. The pain persisted for weeks after the surgery. Enhance を高める、向上させる。The new software enhances the speed and security of the system. The goal of the project is to enhance the quality of education. Invigorate を元気づける。A good night's sleep will invigorate you for the day ahead. The new policy is designed to invigorate the local economy. Fortify を強化する。They fortified the castle with high walls and watchtowers. The soldiers fortified themselves with food and rest before the battle.
Expedite をはかどらせる、促進する。We need to expedite the shipping process to meet the deadline. The manager's approval expedited the hiring process. Bolster を強化する、を支援する。The new evidence bolstered his argument. She tried to bolster his confidence before the interview. Sustain を維持する、に耐える。The company managed to sustain growth for 5 consecutive years. The food and water were barely enough to sustain the survivors. Facilitate を容易にする、を助長する。These tools can facilitate student learning. Technology facilitates communication across borders. Supplement 補うに付録をつける。She supplements her income by working part-time. Many people take vitamin supplements to stay healthy. Subsidize に補助金を与える。The government subsidizes farmers to help stabilize food prices. The company subsidizes employee transportation costs. Amend を改正する、修正する。The government plans to amend the Constitution. He tried to amend his behavior after the incident. Rectify を修正する、改善する。The company took immediate steps to rectify the billing error. He apologized and tried to rectify the situation. Endorse を推薦する、を承認する、に裏書きする。Many scientists endorsed the findings of the report. The senator endorsed the presidential candidate. Exhort に熱心に進める。The teacher exhorted the students to study harder. The president exhorted the nation to stay united in difficult times. Coerce に強いる。The suspect claimed he was coerced into confessing. They tried to coerce her into signing the contract. Implore に懇願する。She implored him to stay and not leave her alone. They implored mercy from the king. Instigate を推進する、を先導する。The manager instigated a complete overhaul of the workflow. He was accused of instigating the violence during the protest.
trigger を誘発する。The announcement triggered a wave of protests. That scene in the movie triggered painful memories. Incite を扇動する、を引き起こす。The speech was accused of inciting violence. He was arrested for inciting others to riot. Muster を集める。She mustered the courage to speak in front of the crowd. The general mustered his troops before the battle. Extol を激賞する。The teacher extolled the students' creativity in front of the whole class. Many critics extolled the film as a masterpiece. Emulate を見習うと張り合う。She tried to emulate her mentor's leadership style. Entice を引き寄せる、誘惑する。The advertisement was designed to entice customers into buying more. They tried to entice him away from his current job with a higher salary. Dazzle を幻惑する。The headlights dazzled the driver. She dazzled the audience with her performance. Sprout 発芽する、急に生える、現れる。The seeds sprouted within a few days. New cafes are sprouting up all over the city. Burgeon 急成長する、芽を出す。The company's influence has burgeoned in recent years. Her interest in environmental issues began to burgeon after college. Detect を感知する、を発見する。Doctors failed to detect the disease in its early stages. I could detect a hint of sarcasm in his voice. Debunk を暴露する、の誤りを暴く。The article debunks the myth that you need 8 glasses of water a day. He made a video to debunk conspiracy theories spreading online. Unravel を解明する、を解く。She watched the sweater slowly unravel in her hands. Detectives are working to unravel the mystery behind the disappearance.
Excavate を発掘する。They excavated the site to lay the foundation for the new building. Archaeologists excavated ancient tombs in the desert. Recoup を取り戻すに埋め合わせをする。The company hopes to recoup its investment within 2 years. He took a few days off to recoup his strength. Recuperate 回復する。He's recuperating at home after surgery. The business hopes to recuperate its losses this quarter. Disseminate を普及させる。The organization works to disseminate information about climate change. Social media allows users to disseminate ideas instantly. Prevail 圧倒する、普及する。Justice will prevail in the end. She prevailed over many obstacles to become a doctor. Propagate を広める、増殖させる。Social media can be used to propagate both truth and misinformation. You can propagate this plant by cutting and replanting the stems. Transmit を伝達する、を感染させる。The device transmits data wirelessly. The virus is transmitted through direct contact.
garner を得る、集める。The movie garnered critical acclaim and several awards. She garnered valuable insights from years of research. Garnish 添えるを装飾する。The dish was garnished with fresh herbs. Add a lemon slice as a garnish. Infer を察する、結論を導き出す。From her tone, I inferred that she was upset. Scientists inferred the existence of the planet based on gravitational data. Surmise 推測する。I can only surmise that she left early because she was upset. From his expression, we surmised that the news wasn't good. Allude 案に言及する。She alluded to her troubled past without going into detail. The article alludes to recent political scandals. Verify を検証するを確かめる。Please verify your email address before logging in. The police are verifying the suspect's alibi. Vindicate の潔白を証明するの正当性を立証する。The evidence finally vindicated the wrongly accused man. Her success vindicated her decision to leave the company. Validate を認可するを認証する。The study aims to validate the effectiveness of the new drug. You must validate your parking ticket at the machine. Corroborate を確証する、補強する。The witness corroborated the defendant's alibi. Multiple studies have corroborated the findings. Substantiate を立証する。She could not substantiate her claim with any evidence. The scientist substantiated his theory with several experiments. Reiterate を繰り返す。Let me reiterate, this policy is non-negotiable. He reiterated his commitment to the project. Enunciate を発表するを明瞭に発音する。Please enunciate your words so everyone can understand. He enunciated his plan clearly and confidently. Underscore を強調する。The recent incident underscores the need for better security. Her tone underscored how serious the situation was. Flaunt を誇示する。She flaunted her designer handbag at the party. He loves to flaunt his wealth on social media. Alleviate を和らげる。This medicine should help alleviate the pain. The government took steps to alleviate poverty. Appease をなだめる。She tried to appease the angry customer with a refund. The Prime Minister's concessions were seen as an attempt to appease protesters. Diffuse から信管を除去するを取り除くを和らげる。The bomb squad defused the explosive device just in time. His joke helped defuse the tension in the room. Mollify を和らげる。He tried to mollify his boss after missing the deadline. The politician's apology did little to mollify public outrage. Placate をなだめる。She gave him a gift to placate him. The manager tried to placate the angry customer. Modulate を調節する。She modulated her voice to sound calm. The singer modulated the pitch during the song. intervene 調停する、仲裁する The teacher intervened to stop the fight. Don't intervene unless it's necessary. Curb を抑制する He tried to curb his anger. The government took steps to curb inflation. Oppress を抑圧する The dictator oppressed the people. Many people felt oppressed by the strict rules. Subjugate を潜伏するを隷属させる The king tried to subjugate the neighboring land. They were subjugated by a powerful army. Suppress 鎮圧するを抑圧する He tried to suppress his laughter. The police suppressed the protest. Subvert を打倒する They tried to subvert the government. The movie subverts traditional gender roles. Encroach 侵入する The weeds are starting to encroach on the garden. Don't let work encroach on your free time. Deter に思いとどまらせる The high price deterred him from buying the car. Security cameras help deter crime. Retard を遅らせる Cold weather can retard plant growth. The medicine retards the spread of the virus. Avert をそらす He tried to avert an accident by braking quickly. She averted her eyes from the scary scene.
Balk ためらうを妨げる She balked at the idea of speaking in public. The horse balked at the fence and stopped. Stifle を抑えるを窒息させる He tried to stifle a laugh. The thick smoke stifled them. Retard を遅らせるを妨げる Cold weather can retard plant growth. The medicine retards the spread of the virus. Quell を抑えるを鎮める The police tried to quell the riot. She drank tea to quell her anxiety. Quench を癒すを抑える He drank water to quench his thirst. Firefighters worked to quench the flames. Curtail を切り詰める They had to curtail their spending. The speech was curtailed due to lack of time. Diminish を減らす His influence has gradually diminished. The pain diminished after taking the medicine. Eclipse の影を薄くさせる The moon eclipsed the sun during the eclipse. Her performance eclipsed all the others. Debase 非に評判を落とす He refused to debase himself by lying. The movie debased the original story. Demean の品位を下げる He felt that the task demeaned him. Don't demean others with rude comments. Detract 損なう The noise didn't detract from our enjoyment. His rude comment detracted from his good impression. Dwindle だんだん減少する The number of students has dwindled over the years. Their hopes dwindled as time passed. Deviate 逸脱する He never deviates from his routine. The plane deviated from its original course. Elude をうまくかわすから逃れる. The thief eluded the police. The meaning of the poem eludes me. Circumvent の抜け道を見つけるを回避する. He tried to circumvent the rules. They found a way to circumvent the problem. Plague を絶えず苦しめる疫病. He was plagued by constant headaches. The country was hit by a deadly plague. Torment をひどく苦しめるを悩ます. The memories tormented him for years. She was in great torment after the accident. Confound を混乱させるを混同する困惑させる. The difficult question confounded the students. His success confounded his critics. Stump を困らせる融雪して回る. The tricky question stumped me. He was stumped by the math problem. Dismiss を却下するを解雇する. The teacher dismissed the class early. She dismissed his idea as unrealistic. Dissect を分析するを解剖する. The students dissected a frog in biology class. The professor dissected the poem line by line. Refute を論破する. She refuted the accusation with clear evidence. He tried to refute the theory in his article. Rebuff を拒絶する. She rebuffed his offer to help. The company rebuffed all questions from the press. Rebuke を叱責する. The teacher rebuked the student for being late. She rebuked him for his careless mistake.
Denounce を公然と非難する. They denounced the violence in the strongest terms. She denounced the government's actions on TV. Rebut に反論する. She rebutted the claims with solid evidence. He tried to rebut the argument during the debate. Berate を責め立てる. She berated him for forgetting her birthday. The coach berated the team after their poor performance. Lambaste を厳しく非難する. The critics lambasted the movie for its weak plot. He was publicly lambasted for his careless remarks. Seclude を引きこもらせる. He secluded himself in the mountains to write. The cabin is secluded from the city. Ostracize を追放するを排斥する. He was ostracized by his classmates for being different. The group ostracized her after the argument. Purge から追放するを清める. The new leader purged corrupt officials. She tried to purge her mind of negative thoughts. Repatriate を本国に送還する. The government repatriated the refugees. He was repatriated after living abroad for 10 years. Repulse を撃退するを拒絶する、嫌悪させる. The army repulsed the enemy attack. His rude behavior repulsed everyone. Rebel 反逆する. The people rebelled against the government. He was seen as a rebel in his family. renounce を放棄すると関係を断つ。He renounced his claim to the throne. She renounced violence in her speech. Revel 大いに楽しむ。They reveled in their victory. The fans reveled all night after the game. Suspend を一時停止にするを吊るす。The game was suspended due to rain. He was suspended from school for a week. Abort を中止する。The mission was aborted due to engine failure. She decided to abort the launch for safety reasons. Adjourn を休会する、延期する、中断する。The meeting was adjourned until tomorrow. The judge adjourned the court for lunch. Nullify を無効にする。The contract was nullified by the court. One mistake nullified all his hard work. Revoke を取り消す。His license was revoked after the accident. The manager revoked the permission. Thwart を阻止する、を挫折する。The police thwarted the robbery. His plans were thwarted by bad weather. Disband 解散する。The band disbanded after 10 years. The general ordered the troops to disband.
Dislodge 取り除く、退陣させる、除去する。He dislodged the stone from the shoe. The rebels dislodged the enemy from the building. Disperse 分散する、を分散させる、を広める。The police used tear gas to disperse the crowd. After the meeting, everyone dispersed to their offices. Eradicate を根絶する。Scientists are working to eradicate the disease. We must eradicate poverty from society. Rout を完敗させる。The army routed the enemy in just 1 hour. The game ended in a rout. Wreak 破壊、損害を引き起こす。The storm wreaked havoc on the town. He vowed to wreak revenge on his enemies. Contaminate を汚染する。The water was contaminated with chemicals. Don't let negative thoughts contaminate your mind. Exacerbate を悪化させる、を苛立たせる。His rude comments exacerbated the situation. The heat exacerbated her headache. Aggravate を悪化させる。Scratching the rash will only aggravate it. His constant complaints aggravated her. Abscond 逃亡する。The thief absconded with the money. He absconded from prison last night. Tamper 改ざんする。Someone tampered with the lock. Don't tamper with the evidence. Cajole を言いくるめる。She cajoled him into buying her a gift. He tried to cajole his boss into giving him a raise. Defraud 人から騙し取る。He was caught trying to defraud the bank. They defrauded people out of their savings. Swindle から騙し取る。He swindled old people out of their money. They were swindled by a fake investment scheme. Dupe を騙す。She was duped by a fake email. He duped investors into giving him money. Mutter つぶやく。
ぶつぶつ不平を言う。He muttered something under his breath. She muttered complaints about the cold. Stammer, 口ごもりながら言う。He stammered when he tried to speak. She stammered out an apology. Invoke, を祈願する、を発動する。The speaker invoked history to support his argument. The president invoked emergency powers. Crunch, をボリボリ噛む。He crunched an apple noisily. We need time to crunch the numbers. Dawdle, ぐずぐずする。Don't dawdle, we'll be late. He dawdled over his homework for hours. Undermine, を衰えさせる、の下を掘る。His lies undermined her trust. The scandal undermined the politician's reputation. Diagnose, を診断する、の原因を究明する。The doctor diagnosed her with pneumonia. The mechanic diagnosed the problem with the engine. Blur, ぼやけさせる。The rain blurred the window. His memory of that day is a blur. Squabble, 口喧嘩する。The children squabbled over a toy. They always squabble about who does the dishes. Vie, を得ようと競う。Several teams are vying for the championship. They vied for her attention. Bluff, 強勢を張る。He bluffed his way past security. I don't think he has a strong hand, he's just bluffing. Broach, 話題を切り出す。She broached the topic of money at dinner. He was nervous about broaching the subject. Clench, を握りしめる。He clenched his fists in anger. She clenched her teeth to stop herself from crying. Perish, 死ぬ、滅びる。Many people perished in the earthquake. Without water, the plants will perish.
Ransack を略奪する。The burglars ransacked the house looking for money. She ransacked her bag to find her keys. Heave を投げる、持ち上げる、吐く。He heaved the box onto the table. She felt her stomach heave. Wrench をねじる、を捻挫する。He wrenched the door open. It wrenched her heart to say goodbye. Beckon に合図する、をおびき寄せる。She beckoned him to come closer. Adventure beckoned and he couldn't resist. Deploy を配置する、を展開させる。The army was deployed to the border. The company deployed new technology to improve efficiency. Detonate 爆発する。The bomb was detonated remotely. The device failed to detonate. Dispatch を急走する、派遣する。The army dispatched troops to the area. The company dispatched the order the same day. Encompass を囲む、含む。The park encompasses several hiking trails. Her interests encompass music, art, and science. Encrypt を暗号化する。The company encrypts all customer data. You should encrypt the file before sending it. Exonerate を無罪とする。The evidence exonerated him of the crime. She was exonerated after years of suspicion. Fetter を拘束する。He was fettered by fear and couldn't speak. The prisoner was fettered at the ankles. Gloat ほくそ笑む。さも満足そうに眺める。
He gloated over his rival's failure. She couldn't help but gloat after winning. Haggle, 値切る、言い争う。He haggled with the vendor over the price. They spent hours haggling at the market. Alienate, を遠ざける。His rude behavior alienated his friends. The company's decision alienated many customers. Shun, を避ける。He was shunned by his classmates. She shuns publicity and lives a quiet life. Dissuade に思いとどまらせる。I tried to dissuade him from quitting his job. Nothing could dissuade her from going. Admonish を注意する。たしなめる。The teacher admonished him for being late. She gently admonished her son to speak politely. Slam をピシャリと締める。を叩きつける。激しく非難する。He slammed the door and walked away. The critics slammed the movie. Squander を浪費する。He squandered all his money on gambling. Don't squander your time on useless things. Subordinate を従属させる。He treats his subordinates with respect. In this company, all departments are subordinate to the CEO. Succumb 負ける。He finally succumbed to the pressure. She succumbed to her illness after a long battle. Tally 符合する。を集計する。His story doesn't tally with the facts. They tallied the votes after the election. Teeter ぐらつく。シーソーに乗る。The glass teetered on the edge of the table. She teetered on high heels.
Veer 進路を変える、転換する。The car suddenly veered off the road. His speech veered away from the main topic. Veto に拒否権を行使する。The president vetoed the new law. She has the power to veto any decision. Weather を切り抜ける。We weathered the storm together. Wince 顔をしかめる、たじろぐ。He winced in pain when he touched the cut. She winced at the sound of the dentist's drill. Scuttle 急ぎ足で歩く、台無しにする、急いで逃げる。The mouse scuttled across the floor. The company scuttled the project due to high costs. Agonize 苦悶する。She agonized over the decision for days. Don't agonize about the past. Focus on the future. Bask 日光浴をする、享受する。The cat basked in the sunlight. He basked in the praise of his coworkers. Concoct をでっち上げる、を混ぜ合わせて作る。He concocted a story to avoid trouble. She concocted a strange but tasty soup. Delve を調査する。She delved into the history of the city. He delved into his bag to find the keys. Evade を避ける。He evaded the police by hiding in the alley. She tried to evade the question. Interject を差し挟む。Wait, he interjected suddenly. She tried to interject a comment during the meeting. Linger ブラブラする、ぐずぐずする、長引く、残る。The smell of coffee lingered in the air. She lingered at the door, not wanting to leave. Pawn を質に入れる。He pawned his watch to pay the rent. They used him as a pawn in their game. Procure を入手する、を調達する。 He procured the rare parts for the machine. She managed to procure a ticket to the concert. Reclaim を取り戻すを構成させるを埋め立てる。He reclaimed his lost luggage at the airport. The land was reclaimed from the sea. Recur 再び起こる。The pain in his back keeps recurring. The same mistake recurred in the final report. Reminisce 思い出を語る、思い出にふける。They sat around the fire reminiscing about their childhood. She often reminisces about her college days. Replenish を補充する。We need to replenish our food supply.
Scroll を存在に書く。He scrolled his name on the paper. The note was scrolled in a hurry. Hurdle 突進する、ビュンと飛ぶ。The car hurtled down the highway. A rock hurtled towards us from above. Disparage を見くびる、けなす。He disparaged her efforts in front of everyone. Don't disparage others just to make yourself look better. Incur を負う、怒りなどを買う。He incurred a large debt after the accident. You may incur extra charges if you cancel late. Tarnish を損なわせる、変色する。The silver ring tarnished over time. The scandal tarnished his reputation. Deplete を使い果たす。The long journey depleted our energy. Overfishing has depleted the ocean's resources. Project を見積もる、を提示する、映し出す。Sales are projected to rise next year. The movie was projected onto the wall.
Founder 失敗する、浸水して沈没する。The project foundered due to lack of funding. The ship foundered in the storm. Justify を正当化する、の正当性を示す。How can you justify your actions? He tried to justify the expense. Diversity 多様性。The school values cultural diversity. The company promotes diversity in the workplace. Extinction 絶滅。Many animals are in danger of extinction. The dinosaurs went extinct millions of years ago. Specimen 標本検体。The museum has a rare dinosaur specimen. The doctor took a blood specimen for testing. Perspective 観点、遠近法、展望。From her perspective, the plan made sense. The artist used perspective to create depth. Enforcement 施行。The enforcement of the new law starts next month. Law enforcement is responsible for keeping the public safe. Breakthrough 大進歩、突破。The scientist made a major breakthrough in cancer research. After months of work, we finally had a breakthrough. Myriad 無数。She has a myriad of ideas for the project. We saw myriad stars in the night sky. Perception 認識、知覚。Her perception of the situation was different from mine. The drug affects your perception of pain. Endowment 寄付金。 The university received a large endowment from an alumnus. She has a natural endowment for music. Gist, Yolteng. I didn't understand every word, but I got the gist. He explained the gist of the article in a few sentences. Backlash, hanpatsu, hando, yurumi. The company faced a public backlash after raising prices. His comments caused a social media backlash. Onset, hajimari, choukou. The onset of winter came earlier this year. He felt the onset of a headache. Paternity, chichioya de aru koto. The company offers paid paternity leave. He is enjoying his new sense of paternity. Preservation, hozon, hogo. The preservation of historic buildings is important. This method allows better food preservation. Verdict, hyoketsu, kette, handan. The jury delivered its verdict after hours of discussion. The judge announced the verdict in the courtroom. Credibility, shinrai, shinpyose, kakutikse. The witness's testimony added to the credibility of the case. His credibility as a leader is unquestionable. Momentum, ikioi, undoryo. The team gained momentum after scoring the first goal. The project lost momentum due to lack of resources. Brevity, mijikasa, kanketsa. The speaker was praised for the brevity of his speech. She appreciated the brevity of the meeting.
Knack, kotsu, yoryo. She has a knack for solving complex problems. He has a knack for making people laugh. Viability, jitsugen kanosei. The company is studying the viability of launching a new product. We need to assess the viability of this project before moving forward. Auspice, hogo, koen. The event was held under the auspices of the local government. The project began under the auspices of a well-known charity. Requisite, hitsuyo joken. In order to qualify, a certain amount of experience is necessary condition. Teamwork is necessary condition for the success of this project. Prerequisite, mai motte hitsuyou na mono, zentei joken. A basic understanding of mathematics is a prerequisite for this course. Good communication skills are prerequisite for the job. Feat, igyo. Climbing Mount Everest is an incredible feat. The team achieved an impressive feat by finishing the project ahead of schedule. Gravity, juryoku, inryoku, omosa. The gravity of the situation became clear as the storm approached. He understood the gravity of his mistake and apologized. Jinx, akun. Don't say anything, or you might jinx the game. He thinks it's bad luck to talk about winning before the game is over, so he doesn't want to jinx it. Omen, zencho. The dark clouds were seen as a bad omen. They took the rainbow as a good omen for their journey. Precedent, zenrei. This decision sets a new legal precedent. There is no precedent for this kind of event. Prelude, zencho. The speech was a prelude to the main event. The sudden drop in stock prices was a prelude to a large crisis. Philanthropy, 慈善. Her philanthropy helped build schools in poor areas. The foundation is known for its work in global philanthropy. Camaraderie, UI. There was a strong sense of camaraderie among the team members. The trip helped build camaraderie between coworkers. Phase, 段階, 局面. The project is now in its final phase. Teenagers often go through a rebellious phase.
Facet 物事の一面 Honesty is an important facet of his personality. We need to consider every facet of the problem. Facade 外見正面 The building has a beautiful glass facade. She hid her sadness behind a cheerful facade. Incentive 刺激動機報奨金 The company offers bonuses as an incentive for hard work. There is no incentive to improve if no one notices your work. Morale 勤労意欲士気 The team's morale was high after the big win. Poor working conditions can lower employee morale. Gratuity チップ心づく He left a 15% gratuity for the waiter. The bill does not include a gratuity. Proponent 支持者提唱者 She is a strong proponent of renewable energy. The proponent of the plan explained its benefits clearly. Advocate 支持者擁護者 He is an advocate for animal rights. She advocates for better healthcare policies. Recipient 受賞者 She was the recipient of the award. The recipients of the scholarship were announced today. Pundit 専門家 The TV show invited a political pundit to discuss the election. Many pundits predicted the team would lose, but they won. Descendant 子孫 She is a descendant of a famous artist. Many descendants attended the family reunion. Prosecutor 検察官 The prosecutor presented strong evidence in court. The prosecutor questioned the witness carefully. Consort 特に国王女王の配偶者 The queen and her consort attended the ceremony. The king's consort was admired by the people. Culprit 容疑者罪人 The police caught the culprit last night. Sugar is often the main culprit in tooth decay. Fugitive 逃亡者脱走者 The police are searching for the fugitive. The fugitive crossed the border at night. Adherent 信奉者 He is a strict adherent of the rules. The political party has many loyal adherents. Mentor 良き助言者 She found a great mentor at her new job. A good mentor gives advice and support. Novice 初心者見習い生 He is a novice at cooking. The class is designed for novices. Recluse 隠遁者 The old man lived as a recluse in the mountains. She became a recluse after the accident.
Surrogate 代理人 She became a surrogate mother for her sister's baby. In his absence, the vice president acted as his surrogate. Peer, 仲間、同輩. Students often feel pressure to fit in with their peers. Prodigy, 神童. She was a child prodigy who started college at age 12. The young pianist is considered a musical prodigy. Counterpart, 対応するもの、写し. The Japanese ambassador met with his U.S. counterpart. Her counterpart in the other company agreed to the plan. Aptitude, 適性、素質. She has a natural aptitude for mathematics. The test measures a student's aptitude for learning languages. Caliber, 能力の程度、銃の口径. We need a leader of high caliber for this project. The school is known for students of great caliber. Demeanor, 振る舞い、品行. Her calm demeanor helped everyone relax. The teacher praised his respectful demeanor. Posture, 姿勢、態度、状態. She has good posture when sitting at her desk. His confident posture showed he was ready to speak. Prudence, 慎重. She handled the situation with great prudence. Financial prudence is important when starting a business. Zeal, 熱心さ、熱意. She worked with great zeal to finish the project. His zeal learning impressed the teacher. Prestige, 名声. The university has a lot of prestige around the world. Winning the award gave him prestige in his field. Eminence, 高名. She rose to eminence as a scientist. The professor's eminence in literature is widely recognized. Conviviality, 陽気な行動. The party was full of warmth and conviviality. His conviviality made everyone feel welcome. Elocution, 雄弁術. She took elocution lessons to improve her public speaking. His clear elocution impressed the audience. Agility, 敏捷性、機敏さ. The cat moved with great agility. Agility is important in many sports. Allure, 魅力. The beach has a special allure at sunset. She couldn't resist the allure of the city lights. Candor, 率直. I appreciate your candor in this discussion. He spoke with candor about his past mistakes. Decorum, 礼儀正しさ. She showed proper decorum at the formal dinner. The teacher reminded the students to maintain decorum in class. Fidelity, 忠誠心. He was praised for his fidelity to the company. The dog's fidelity to its owner was touching. Dexterity, 器用さ、利口さ. She showed great dexterity with her hands while sewing. The magician amazed the crowd with his finger dexterity. Ebullience, あふれる元気. Her ebullience brightened up the whole room. The children's ebullience was contagious. Exhilaration, 大喜び. She felt a rush of exhilaration after the roller coaster ride. Winning the game brought great exhilaration to the team. Duplicity, 二枚舌. They were shocked by his duplicity in the negotiations. She discovered his duplicity and ended the relationship. indiscretion, 軽率な行動. His career was damaged by a moment of indiscretion. She apologized for her indiscretion at the meeting. Indolence, 怠惰. His indolence kept him from finishing the work on time. The heat made everyone feel a sense of indolence. Audacity, 厚かましさ. He had the audacity to question the manager's decision. I can't believe she had the audacity to lie to everyone.
Grudge. 恨み. He still holds a grudge against his old boss. She let go of the grudge and forgave her friend. Tenure. 終身在職権保有. She received tenure after 5 years of teaching. His tenure as manager lasted for a decade. Duration, 継続期間. Please stay seated for the duration of the flight. The pain lasted for the duration of the night. Affinity, 相性類似性. She has a natural affinity for languages. I felt an instant affinity with the new coworker. Hoax, 作り話. The news turned out to be a hoax. Someone spread a hoax about a ghost in the school. Allegory, 寓話、例え話. The novel is an allegory of good versus evil. He used animals in his story as an allegory for human society. Apex, 絶頂. He reached the apex of his career at age 40. The mountain's apex was covered in snow. Zenith, 絶頂. The singer was at the zenith of her fame in the 1990s. The sun reached its zenith at noon. Ascension, 上昇. 即位. His ascension to the throne was celebrated across the kingdom. The story describes the hero's ascension from poverty to success. Conglomerate, 巨大複合企業. The company grew into a large multinational conglomerate. The media conglomerate owns several TV stations and newspapers. Offshoot, 子会社. The new app is an offshoot of the original project. Bamboo sends out many offshoots as it grows. Consignment, 託送, 委託商品. The store received a new consignment of clothes yesterday. The goods were sold on consignment at the boutique. Conveyance, 輸送、譲渡. The conveyance of goods was delayed by the storm. Language is a tool for the conveyance of ideas. Durability, 耐久性. This watch is known for its durability. We tested the durability of the new material. Footage, 映画・テレビの特定の場面. The security camera captured footage of the incident. We watched old footage of the concert. Gadget, 機器. He always buys the latest tech gadgets. This kitchen gadget makes cooking much easier. Glitch, 故障、小さな技術上の問題. The game froze because of a glitch. A small glitch caused the system to crash. Echelon, 地位、階層. He worked his way up to the top echelon of the company. Only those in the upper echelon knew about the plan. Speculation, 投機、考察、推測. There was a lot of speculation about the new movie. The company's sudden success led to speculation in the media. Hype, 古代宣伝.
The movie didn't live up to the hype. There was a lot of hype before the product launch. Benchmark, kijin. This test serves as a benchmark for student performance. Our product sets a new benchmark in quality. Integration, togo. The integration of technology into education is growing. Successful teamwork requires the integration of different skills.
Liability, 責任、負債. The company has a legal liability for the damage. His careless actions became a liability to the team. Libel, 名誉毀損、中傷. The newspaper was sued for libel. He denied the libelous statements written about him. Quota, 割り当て、ノルマ. Each worker must meet a daily quota. The country set a quota on rice imports. Perk, 諸手当. A company car is one of the perks of the job. Free coffee is a small perk at the office. Annotation, 注釈. The textbook includes helpful annotations in the margins. She added an annotation to explain the chart. Backlog, 未処理の山. We have a backlog of orders to process. The company is working hard to clear the backlog. Collation, 照合作業、ページ合わせ. The assistant is responsible for the collation of all the reports. Proper collation ensures the documents are in the correct order. Counterfeit, 偽造通貨、模造品. The police seized a batch of counterfeit money. He was arrested for selling counterfeit goods. Forgery, 偽造、偽造品. The signature on the check was a forgery. He was charged with document forgery. Asylum, 亡命に対する庇護、避難所. The refugee applied for political asylum. Many people fled the country seeking asylum. Haven, 避難所、停泊所. The island is a haven for rare birds. She found a safe haven in her grandmother's house. Hub, 中心、商業や輸送の中心. The city is a major transportation hub. This office serves as the hub for all company operations. Venue, 開催地、現場. This hall is a popular venue for weddings. The venue was full of excited fans. Vicinity, 近所. There are several restaurants in the vicinity of the station. No schools are located in the immediate vicinity. Validity, 効力、正当性. Please check the validity of your passport. Efficacy, 効力、有効性. The doctor explained the efficacy of the new drug. We are testing the efficacy of the new treatment. Longevity, 長寿、寿命. Exercise and a healthy diet can increase longevity. The longevity of the machine surprised the engineers. Mortality, 死亡率、死ぬ運命. The doctor discussed the mortality rate of the disease. War often reminds us of human mortality. Demise, 死去、終焉. The sudden demise of the actor shocked his fans. Poor management led to the company's demise. Immunity, 免疫. Vaccines help build immunity against diseases. He has legal immunity and cannot be prosecuted. Remedy, 治療、治療法.
This herbal tea is a natural remedy for colds. We need to find a remedy for the current problem. Bout. 発作、短い期間. He had a short bout of the flu last week. After a bout of coughing, she felt better.
Quarantine. 隔離、検疫. He was placed in quarantine after returning from abroad. The dog was kept in quarantine for 2 weeks. Contingency. 不慮の出来事、偶然、不確実. We prepared a contingency plan in case of emergency. The budget includes extra funds for contingencies. Concussion. 脳震盪. He suffered a concussion during the football game. After the fall, she was treated for a mild concussion. Blister. 水ぶくれ、火ぶくれ. I got a blister from wearing new shoes. He covered the blister with a bandage. Prognosis. 病気の予後. The doctor gave a positive prognosis after the surgery. Her prognosis depends on how she responds to treatment. Penchant. 傾向、好み. She has a penchant for spicy food. He showed a strong penchant for music from a young age. Propensity. 好ましくない、傾向、性癖. He has a propensity to worry too much. She showed a natural propensity for learning languages. Savor. 思わせるもの、風味、嗜好. He took a moment to savor the flavor of the soup. She wanted to savor every minute of her vacation. Banter. 冗談、冷やかし. The friends enjoyed some light banter over lunch. Their playful banter made everyone smile. Jest. 冗談. He made the comment in jest, but she took it seriously. They laughed at his silly jest. Animosity. 憎. There was clear animosity between the two rivals. She spoke without any animosity in her voice. Aversion. 嫌悪感. He has a strong aversion to crowds. She felt an instant aversion to the bitter taste. Acrimony. トゲトゲしさ、辛辣さ. The debate ended in acrimony and shouting. There was noticeable acrimony in their divorce proceedings. Affront. 公然の侮辱. His rude comment was an affront to her dignity. She took his silence as a personal affront. Misgiving. 不安、疑念. She had misgivings about the trip. Despite his misgivings, he signed the contract. Scruple. 罪の意識. He had no scruples about lying to get the job. She couldn't steal because of her moral scruples. Grievance. 不満、苦情. The workers voiced their grievances to the manager. She filed a formal grievance about her working conditions. Eulogy. 追悼、賛辞. He gave a heartfelt eulogy at his grandfather's funeral. The priest delivered a moving eulogy for the late teacher. Flattery. お世辞、おべっか. He used flattery to win her trust. Too much flattery can seem insincere.
Homage. 敬意. The movie pays homage to classic horror films. They held a ceremony in homage to the fallen soldiers. Defiance. 反抗、挑戦. She stared at the teacher in open defiance. The protest was an act of defiance against the government. Deportation. 国外追放. He faced deportation after his visa expired. The government ordered the deportation of the illegal immigrants.
Decadence. 墜落. The book describes the moral decadence of the empire. Some people view luxury as a sign of decadence. Derision. 嘲笑. His idea was met with derision from the crowd. She spoke with derision about his efforts. Disguise. 変装. He wore a hat and glasses as a disguise. She disguised her voice on the phone. Conjecture. 憶測, 推測. His theory is based on pure conjecture. The cause of the accident is still a matter of conjecture. Fallacy. 誤った推論. It's a common fallacy that money brings happiness. His argument was full of logical fallacies. Decree. 法令, 布告. The king issued a decree banning hunting. By royal decree, the land was returned to the people. Ordinance. 条例, 法令. The city passed an ordinance to reduce noise at night. Smoking is banned by local ordinance. Precept. 命令書、行動上の指針、格言. He followed the moral precepts taught by his parents. The teacher explained an important precept of honesty. Elimination. 除去、予選. The elimination of waste is important for the environment. Our team faced elimination after losing the match. Exorcism. 悪魔払い. The priest performed an exorcism to drive out the evil spirit. The movie is about a girl who needs an exorcism. Traverse. 横断する. They traversed the desert on foot. A bridge traverses the river. Transgression. 違反. He apologized for his transgression. Lying is considered a moral transgression. Infringement. 侵害. The company was fined for copyright infringement. He claimed the rule was an infringement on his rights. Disparity. 差, 不均衡. There is a clear disparity in income between the two groups. The report highlights the disparity in access to education. Dissension. 意見の衝突. There was dissension among the team members about the plan. The proposal caused dissension within the committee. Discrepancy. 不一致. There is a discrepancy between the two reports. The accountant found a discrepancy in the financial records. Dearth. 不足、欠乏、飢饉. There is a dearth of fresh water in the area. The project failed due to a dearth of funding.
Deluge. 大豪雨、豪雨. The storm caused a deluge of rain. The office received a deluge of emails after the announcement. Spillage. 流出. Be careful to avoid spillage when pouring the juice. The factory was fined for chemical spillage into the river. Outage. 停止、停電. There was a power outage during the storm. The internet outage lasted for 2 hours. Hazard. 危険. Wet floors can be a slipping hazard. Smoking is a serious health hazard. Jeopardy. 危機. His careless driving put everyone in jeopardy. The patient's life is in jeopardy after the accident. Pandemonium. 混沌. There was pandemonium in the stadium after the final goal. When the fire alarm rang, the office turned into pandemonium. Predicament, 苦境. She found herself in a difficult predicament. We were in a real predicament when the car broke down. Mayhem, 大混乱. The prank caused total mayhem in the classroom. There was mayhem at the concert when the power went out. Plight, 苦境. The movie shows the plight of homeless people. She spoke about the plight of refugees. Hindrance, 障害物, 邪魔になるもの. His lack of experience was a hindrance to his success. The heavy traffic was a major hindrance to our arrival on time. Impediment, 障害物. A lack of funds is an impediment to progress. He overcame a speech impediment as a child. Impasse, 行き詰まり. The negotiations reached an impasse. They were stuck in an impasse with no clear solution. Stalemate, 膠着状態. The talks ended in a stalemate with no agreement. The game was a stalemate with neither side able to win. Blunder, 重大なミス. He made a big blunder during the interview. The company apologized for the marketing blunder. Fiasco, 大失敗. The event turned into a complete fiasco. Their plan to surprise her was a total fiasco. Culpability, 過失の原因. The court will decide his level of culpability. She denied any culpability in the accident. Catalyst, きっかけ. The new policy was a catalyst for change. Her speech acted as a catalyst to inspire the team. Dispute, 論争. The two companies are in a dispute over the contract. They tried to resolve the dispute peacefully. Feud,
確執.
The families have had a long feud for years. The feud between the neighbors finally ended. Hassle, 口論, 煩わしいこと. I don't want to deal with the hassle of moving again. Getting a visa can be a real hassle. Antipathy, 反感. I feel a strong antipathy toward dishonesty. His antipathy for loud noises made him avoid the concert. Atrocity, 残虐. The war was marked by many atrocities. They condemned the atrocities committed during the conflict. Vandalism, 芸術品、公共物などの破壊. The school was damaged by acts of vandalism. Vandalism in the park has increased recently. Devastation, 破壊.
荒廃.
The earthquake caused widespread devastation. The fire left the town in complete devastation. Havoc, 大混乱、破壊. The storm caused havoc in the city. The new policy created financial havoc for small businesses. Wreckage, 残骸. The rescue team searched through the wreckage after the crash. Only wreckage remained after the fire. Rubble, 瓦礫. The earthquake left the city in rubble. Workers cleared the rubble after the building collapsed. Regime, 政権. The new regime promised economic reforms. The old regime was overthrown after years of protest. Exodus, 大量出国、移住. There was a mass exodus of people from the city during the war. The company faced an exodus of employees after the scandal.
Onslaught, 猛攻撃. The castle withstood the onslaught of enemy forces. The company faced an onslaught of criticism after the product failed. Amnesty, 恩赦. The government declared amnesty for political prisoners. The rebels were offered amnesty if they laid down their arms. Barrage, 集中砲火、弾幕. The soldiers faced a barrage of gunfire. She received a barrage of questions from reporters. Brunt,
矢面、攻撃の矛先。
The coastal town took the brunt of the hurricane. Workers bore the brunt of the company's budget cuts. Cessation, 停止. The cessation of hostilities brought peace to the region. There was a temporary cessation of work due to the strike. Cipher, 暗号. The message was written in a secret cipher. He tried to decode the cipher but failed. Retribution, 報い、仕返し. The victim sought retribution for the crime. He feared retribution after speaking out against the company. Repeal, 撤廃、破壊. The government decided to repeal the outdated law. Citizens campaigned for the repeal of the unfair tax. Provision, 配給. The contract includes a provision for early termination. We packed enough provisions for the camping trip. Repercussion, 影響、反響. The decision had serious repercussions for the company. They didn't consider the possible repercussions of their actions. Reprisal, 報復. The attack was a reprisal for the earlier bombing. The country threatened reprisals if provoked again. Faction, 派閥. A small faction within the party opposed the new policy. The company was divided by factions with different opinions. Rampage, 凶暴な行動. The crowd went on a rampage after the game. Vandals went on a rampage in the city last night. Devastation, 破壊、荒廃. The earthquake caused widespread devastation. The fire left the town in complete devastation.